Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Rise of the Runelords. We're on session 40. Oh,
Hey,
did someone leave?
Yeah, it
all
looks
of
like
the-
bots dropped. It's fine.
Anyway,
Oh, he's back.
in session 39, you managed to scrape by and handle the remaining menace within the 7 sawmill, namely Justice Ironbriar. Unfortunately, you all decided it would be best to take his body as a trophy through the streets of Magnamar, where a few guards happened to notice, and
Probably while we were hailing them.
yes, while you were hailing them, and you are currently in a strange situation in a few holding cells in the Arvinsor, awaiting judgment, potentially finding your ways into the Hells, the notorious Hells. And I will bring you to the Magnamar scene. Do I even have any ambience for this? I don't think I do. Oops. Anyway, you three wake in the morning, refreshed in some ways and others still drained. You have a few moments to yourselves.
Bear's working out.
That tracks.
Artanis is gonna knock on the bars and say, Cece, Ver, I've kind of had a chance to mull over our situation here, and I realize that, one, if we're thrown into the Hells, there's a chance that because you two are not repeat offenders, and I use air quotes with offenders, that perhaps you two will go free and I will alone be sent to the Hells.
Well,
and if we
bullshit.
were all to go free, I would still be the only one legally bound to continue this investigation.
I don't need to be legally bound for anything.
Well, that's a comfort. Because I wouldn't want you to feel obligated to continue the investigation.
Oh
seeing
no,
as we're losing so many of our party, and my life kind of just hangs in the balance.
I'm in this now.
All right, that's a comfort, Bear.
That's just how I feel.
DC, you awake?
You don't really hear too much noise from Cece's cell for a brief amount of time. And I would like to cast where is it? I would like to cast Embrace Destiny.
Ooh.
As soon as I wake up, if that's okay with you, Dieter.
You were not put in any sort of magical restraints as of yet, so if you have the components necessary, you're allowed to.
It doesn't say that it requires any components. Verbal and somatic, so yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
Yep.
gestures and incantations.
So that's a 9 that I get to hold on to.
Okay.
Oh.
And it doesn't say within the confines of the spell that it has to be my roll. Are we at an agreement on that, Dieter?
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't add.
Yeah,
I didn't-
we can do that. What is the duration?
Yeah, I just realized that I did not add that, so I will grab that.
The duration of the spell. Yeah, that's a pretty big int. Once you have used this recorded result, or the duration of the spell ends.
Oh, that's weird. I thought this was like divination, but it's not. It just says however many rounds per level.
Oh.
Yeah. I misread that.
Yeah.
I thought it was a one-time until used, but it's not.
Oh. Interesting.
I see.
That's,
There we go. I have edited that. With that, I would not do that in the morning.
That's fair.
Okay.
Take your slot back.
If you don't mind. Yeah. Okay. I've got
course
that
not.
added to it for future references. So Cece's probably the last one to wake up, and she kind of groggily sits up and rubs her eyes and hears what Artanis has to say, and will get up off the bed and feel her way along the wall to the bars and call out, We're in this together. It's not the best situation for any of us to be in, but it's the situation we're in nonetheless, and we will get through it.
one way or the other.
But I do have some form of an idea. I don't know if it'll work, but it is something that I want to try. But I need to take the lead on this until I pass on the lead. So I just ask that you both remain quiet and remain patient.
If
Okay.
you've got a plan, I'll follow.
Well, in this scenario, it's just going to come down to all of us trusting each other, and I trust both of you. So, in this scenario, I need you to trust me.
You got it.
You both have my trust.
All right.
Also, my neck didn't explode.
So, sorry, resizing Ver's token a little bit. Some time passes. You are not immediately dealt with, but eventually, some guards return. None of them, the original guards, and kind of draw your attention, bang on some bars.
Yes.
Hands forward.
Can we speak with Acacia yet? Put my hands forward.
What makes you think you get to speak with her? And
She's our contact.
puts manacles on you, and then opens the cell door.
But seriously, yeah, she's our contact. If we could,
I will give you, because you are not like raging and trying to escape, I will give you a diplomacy check.
Alrighty,
Ooh.
here we go. Here we go, folks. Oh crap. I don't even know what my diplomacy is. So bear with me for 1 second.
We're crossing new horizons.
At
Yeah,
this moment,
yeah.
I'm just hoping it's positive.
Well, we'll see. We shall see. I do know that my charisma is not bad.
Oh, well, then
Diplomacy a
it's
+2.
okay. I mean, it's something.
1d20 +2.
Come on.
Ah,
middle of the road.
Okay. Well, this guard looks at you for a second and just kind of says, "Right," and then moves over to shackle Artanis and Cece respectively.
Hey, this guy can't tell a lie over here that you're shackling next. He can't tell a lie. You should know that.
You see that?
Okay, the guy knows. Okay. Yeah, I stick my hands out and allow him to cuff me. I don't resist.
And again with Cece.
Cece will stick her hands out, but she's stood too far away from where the guard originally was, and sticks her hands out, mimicking as if she didn't know where he was.
Yeah. Now go ahead and put the shackles on that blind girl.
As he shackles her, she kind of flinches, as if not expecting the touch. And as he does, she will ask, "Where are we? Where are we being taken? What's going on?"
Well, if they have time, you'll be taken before the 6th remaining justices of the city.
And if they don't?
I think you already know.
Well, I would like to request that, regardless, my lawyer have his say through all of this, representing all of us.
Your lawyer?
My lawyer, yes.
And who
So
would that be?
Well, I do have legal representation, which would allow me to probably at least solidify some form of justice system, correct?
He not, I would say not that you can see it, but you can. Not that he knows that you can see it. He shifts his weight and like has his eyes like half closed, you know, he gives you that look.
The
And just
questioning
says-
stare.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, so I have legal representation, and therefore, with a lawyer, I am due for a trial, so please escort the three of us to wherever trials are being held, and we will await for our next turn in court, but I do have legal representation. And my representative will be representing all three of us.
Convenient. He undoes, unlocks the cell doors, and the collection of guards escorts you up several flights of stairs. Till you are level with the summit, the upper class location of Magnamar, where you are almost paraded through the streets of Naus and a bit into the capital district until you make it to this centralized building here.
Oh, that looks like it's the pediment building.
Yeah,
Okay.
you said.
Artanis
so.
is a little nervous.
I wonder why.
Fair stone-faced.
Okay. Just make sure. Yeah, the pediment building. Yes, I was correct. Yes, that's a big bridge. Good job, Stacey. Okay. So you are taken within the halls of the pediment building. Oh. Okay, so scratch what I said before. There are 12 remaining justices. Not 6.
Okay. I am a lot less alarmed. I was like, holy crap, we just lost half! Alright.
That was my own mistake.
No, you're
There
good.
will be 12.
Okay, 12.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Looks like we've gotten ourselves into a sticky situation, gang.
Artanis. Okay. So you walk into these marbled halls with statues of gargoyles and mighty figures, and symbols of law, like a scale with, or a lady holding a scale with a blindfold on. Artanis, you look at this and don't quite feel the fairness that it's supposed to represent. But anyway, you are... Well, you recognize these halls, and there's a certain point where you realize you actually are going towards at least the chambers of what should be the 13 justices of Magnamar.
I'll be explaining where we're going to CC and Ver as we're going, if we're allowed to, talk.
Right.
I don't know. Are we?
Mm.
Well, if we're not slapped, and as long as we understand that whatever we say can and will be used against us, we're good.
Right.
So, yeah.
As we're walking, Cece will say to Artanis and Bear, knowing that she's being heard, but she will still say it and say, remember that I asked you to trust me,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's more crucial than ever. When I pass the torch, that is the next person to talk, and the rest need to stay silent. Okay?
Oh,
All right.
all right.
Do you want
So we're holding an imaginary torch.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yes. We'll go with that analogy. Yes. Whoever gets the imaginary torch will be we'll call it the talking torch. When I pass
Okay.
the talking torch, we just need to trust each other.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're innocent, so I'm not worried.
You're absolutely right.
Right. So, you and the guards all cease moving outside of a very large chamber. One of the guards makes his way up to the divine double doors and makes his presence known with the large knocking ring. I'm not going to say the actual word for it. On the door. And opens up to let himself in. It takes but a few moments. But the guard reemerges, fully opening the door and ushering everyone in. The other guards get a little handsy and kind of push you forward in their own impatience.
They try to push an empty body because I'm making my way. I'm gone before they even. Yes, I'm making my way
Right.
downtown. All that.
And as you step inside, you see a wonderfully furnished place of law. There are these like balconies where you can see very imposing individuals in ceremonial dress and armor. Difficult to tell if they would be actually effective. All gazing down upon you, except for obviously one seat on the middle left, which is missing one of the justices. As you approach, the head justice speaks up. You bring these three before us. You have gathered the Magnamarian court. What is the crime? And the guard, in response, kind of looks up and gestures at you three and says, "These three and their deceased partner, it would seem, are being charged with the murder of Justice Ironbriar." A different justice then speaks up and says, "And what evidence have you?" And this guard once again speaks up. Not but yesterday, these three carried in a wagon the corpse of Justice Ironbriar through the streets with no remorse. We have looked into this and find there is no other possible course than finding them guilty of murder in the highest degree. And then another justice again speaks up. "And what say you?" Staring directly at the three of you. Mostly Artanis, though.
At this moment, Cece would speak up and say, "I do have legal representation for the three of us who will be speaking on our behalf." And she will turn directly to Artanis and say, "I pass the proverbial torch to you, and you have my full support and trust." And then she will look at Ver and give him a nod, and then look back at Artanis.
Ver is stone-faced. He's just like, it looks like if you touched him, he might just shatter. He's so tense. His jaw is set, and he's just waiting.
Yep. And Cece goes silent.
Artanis is gonna walk forward and say, "Your Honors, on the charge of murder of the first degree, we three plead not guilty."
I see. Please then make your case. Explain to us whom you have defiled one of our members. Why we should see it that you three outing the corpse of the fallen should not be held responsible.
Yes, Your Honor. Justice Ironbriar's death is related to an ongoing investigation related to the Brothers of the Seven. The investigation began in Sandpoint where my late partner, Officer Dedrin, and I found a party with CC Stonetide, Vera Auden, and our late partner who was with the wagon, Karzarath. The investigation brought us here to Magnamar, where we continued the investigation and found a lead pointing us toward the sawmill down past Keystone. I'm gonna pretend I know that island's name.
I believe it's Kyver's Island.
Kyver's Island. Okay.
Don't
that led
pretend,
us
man.
to the-
Don't pretend. The mark. The mark.
Yeah. The 7 sawmill on Kyver's Island is where our investigation brought us. When we arrived, the sawmill was closed, but as you may know, Magnamar's constitution states that the right of the people is to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable search and seizures. However, along with several exceptions, including border searches, emergency searches, consensual searches, hot pursuit, inventory, plain view searches incident to arrest, and stop and frisks, there are also 2 additional exceptions to the rule that may be related to our case today. The 2 searches related may be administrative search, and the more likely law in our case, I believe, is probable cause and exigent circumstances. As you may know, the 7 sawmill operates as a sawmill, which means it must have a license for business, and thus can be searched to guarantee that it is under compliance. Under the Magnamarian Cultist Act, agents of the law are free to search premises that have suspected cult activity. Moving forward, probable cause and exigent circumstances. If circumstances that include the risk that evidence can be destroyed if it is not immediately seized, officers are allowed to enter the premises without a search warrant. Seeing as this case brought us to a sawmill with immediate access to water and destructive means of destroying evidence, we believe that this is relevant. The party knocked on the front door of the sawmill, and we broke and entered. I fully intended to repair the mill's door, as demonstrated with the case at the estate near the capital district, where I repaired the outside door leading to the storage unit. This was done so that if things went awry, as they often do for some strange reason, I could repair the door. I have access to the mending spell. So once entering, we immediately went around and began looking for employees or managers. We asked around. We were looking for the manager to speak to them about this lead. Upon going to past the second floor, we were ambushed by cultists wearing red capes and masks. They wielded daggers and broke our party apart to be out of formation. They began the assault first. According to Chapter 1, Section 16, Subsection 200, Use of Deadly Force, law enforcement officers and correctional officers of the Department of Justice may use deadly force only when necessary. That is, when the officer has a reasonable belief that the subject of such force poses an imminent danger of death or serious physical injury to the officer or to another person. That applies to all 4 of us. So we responded with deadly force. once we had dealt with the majority of the assailants and had a moment to breathe, CC Stoneblade had opted to restrain one of the cultists, as is relevant in sub-article E. Officers trained in alternative methods and tactics for handling and resisting subjects, which must be used when the use of deadly force is not authorized by the policy. Since that subject was no longer willing to fight, he was restrained. Did I misspeak? Didn't I say stone tied?
You said Stone Blade.
Yeah, definitely
Oh.
said with Stoneblade.
Ah, my mistake. CC Stone tied. Anyways, moving forward. We continue the fight downstairs, where we lost Karzarath in the line of duty. We chose to continue the investigation because there was still a risk of evidence being destroyed. When we went back upstairs, we, according to sub-article... where the shit is it? Sub-article C, if feasible, and if to do so would not increase the danger to the officer or others, a verbal warning to submit to authority shall be given prior to the use of deadly force. I followed the procedure and said to the remaining individuals of the sawmill that if they did not surrender, then deadly force will be used. And I followed up with that warning when we were assaulted. Among the assailants was Justice Ironbriar. Unfortunately, none of us recognized Justice Ironbriar, but he was among the combatants. It was not until all of the cultists were dealt with that we recognized who the Justice was. The Justice was casting spells and ordering the cultists to take offensive maneuvers towards us with the intent to use deadly force to quell us, as shown by Karzarath. Once we put all the individuals of the mill down, we decided that Justice Ironbriar, along with his effects, which we found upon investigation of the mill, were to be brought to the Arvin Sor to comply with the ongoing investigation authorized by Captain Acacia. We put the tarp over our wagon so as not to draw unnecessary attention, but seeing as this was a major player, so to speak, in the seven Brothers of the Seven cult, I flagged down officers to escort us to the Arvin Sor. That is where this and other officers' stories would align. They did escort us to the Arvin Sor. We did not tout the body. It was hidden from public view. As soon as we got to the Arvin Sor, we were arrested for the alleged murder of Justice Ironbriar, and here we stand before you today after staying within the holding cell of the Arvin Sor for a night.
One of the older members speaks up first. This certainly does intrigue me. I am curious, though. What of this cult? What do you know of it? What is its purpose? All cults must have a purpose.
I believe much of the evidence may be found in the effects of Justice Ironbriar. I must admit that following the lead to the sawmill is as far as we got in our investigation. It was our final lead. But the earlier parts of the investigation involved ritual killings related to the seven virtues, I believe. 7 vices, 7 virtues. It's related to one of those. And we managed to stop the killings in Sandpoint. We are also aware that among its members are shapeshifters. One of them got away before we could stop it.
Mm-hmm. Another justice speaks up and says, "And how might you link Ironbriar to this cult? You say that there is genuine business that occurs in the sawmill? We understand that it is a key economic factor. Suppose that this cult does exist, as you were saying, and certainly you believe it to be. What's to say that Ironbriar was not simply joining in defending one of his many places of business? Was he wearing the same attire? Did he have the same iconography? What links Ironbriar to this cult?
Well, if it isn't an indicator, being in the back of all of the cultists, then perhaps having sway and command of the cultists during the ensuing combat should indicate what his role is in this organization. Had he only been an investor of the mill, he would not have sway over the cultists' lives, would he not? And if it was a legitimate business, there would be no reason to attack us.
Okay. At this point, Artanis, I'm giving you a diplomacy check.
Must it be a diplomacy, or may I use profession barrister?
Right. I'll let you barrist.
I will barris.
He's gonna embarrass the hell out of these guys.
Yes!
Woo!
Okay. Okay. Okay, so some of the justices look around at each other while others are still basically glaring at you. The Chief Justice stands and walks to the banister. And with his hand waves you off. Yes, quite. Take them to a holding room. We must deliberate. With that, the guards oblige. And pull you off into a side chamber where you are unable, except probably Artanis, of hearing the deliberations of the Justice Council.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, that sounded like an opportunity to make a perception check.
You may try.
Okay, I shall try. I don't believe I have any other bonuses past the... Oh wait, I also have alertness.
You
I wasn't ready.
did drop that for Athena, just as a
Oh no,
reminder.
yeah, alertness is what gives me some bonus. The racial bonus is what I changed to barrister.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm adding 5, 3, that's all base, so I'm gonna get +2 from that. I'm sorry, I wasn't ready to make a perception check. 18, don't have that. That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Okay, so that is the correct number. Here we go. Oh shit.
Holy fuck. Oh, damn. Wow.
39. Okay.
Critical. Not that that makes any difference with skills, but it's still a damn high number.
Okay. Clearly this is a good perception check. You aren't able to hear everything that goes on, especially when the guards around you make an off comment, or you hear sounds from outside which are far more apparent than the justice's chamber. But you hear occasional bouts within the chamber.
I wish I could hear. I know they're talking crap about me. That devil.
I say no
And-
comment on Bear's comment.
And yeah, you hear various phrases of like, we cannot simply take them on their word, they need to provide evidence. And he is clearly not lying from his own knowledge. Later on, you catch them talking of cults within Magnamar and how this might be related. There are just some general shouts across to each other. A fair amount of time passes. Okay. After what feels like hours, and maybe was an hour or so, one of the squires, one of the hands of the justices, dashes into the room and calls you back in. They're willing to see you again.
Hooray!
I just give looks to Cece and Ver. Like, I gave it my best shot.
I look back like, I know. If that's a look that you can give someone, maybe like a shrug and a nod.
Yeah, that makes sense.
As they get you up, given that you might be sitting, the guards who have been trying to keep themselves entertained this whole time, take you back into the main chamber, where civility has ensued, and everyone is
Great.
sitting at their proper location. As you take your spots in the center of the court, the Chief Justice takes a stand and says, "We of the Magnamarian Council do not take the death of one of our own lightly. But under your own knowledge of laws and admission to not having heinous intent, you will be given 24 hours find this connection for us, and you will be watched. You may not fabricate anything.
Yes, Your Honor.
Or pay a sum total of 10,000 gold pieces for your release. If by the end of those 24 hours arrive, and neither of these have been made, you will be sentenced to the hells.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Oh no, I was just wondering if we get our stuff back.
You will be provided with your items as we see fit.
Okay. Thank you.
And you are walked out of the pediment building.
Well,
Cece remains completely silent until basically the chains are removed and the guards are gone.
Yeah, as soon as those chains fall off, Artanis is gonna give Cece and Ver like, we need to move.
yes, I'm hoping that the guard. I mean, we need to go back to the place to get our stuff. So,
Yeah. So.
I mean, God,
Ver,
what
you
do we-
mind
okay.
carrying Cece?
Carrying? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Let's run.
Where the hell is my horse? Yeah, I do begin to run.
Yeah, we're all running.
And,
Yeah,
and
Beelining.
carrying. And I just want to see Hope again. Like, because I was riding her in there.
Does the Arventor have a stable? Or at least one like right outside of it in Low Cleft?
Yeah, there would be
And horse impound?
reasonable housing for Hope outside of the Arventor.
Nice. Horse impound.
Alright. So I guess as soon as we
They're
get
not
there...
evil, they're just corrupt.
Right.
There's a difference.
Where, I mean, you guys want to go to fucking... No, your head would probably explode if we did that. But then again, I don't know. Who knows? We're still running.
Yeah. So as we're running, Cece will pipe up and say, "We've got a couple options. We've got a couple directions. One, we could go back to the mill and search through as we're all running. We could go back and we could search through the mill and see if we can find anything there. We've also got the prisoner that we brought. I don't know if they'd let us interrogate him, but that is an option, and that's probably the more likely chance of us getting any sort of feedback verbally from somebody. And I do still have that spell that I used on Karzarath.
And we need to talk to Acacia.
So what would be our best direction here? Do we go and do we look through the mill? Do we go to the guy to interrogate him? Because he's probably there with Acacia as well. So that is an option too.
And we need to get re-equipped. You don't have to pant because I'm holding you. And I don't have armor on right now, so I am running really quick, even with you on. How much do you weigh?
I'm clinging to your. I'm probably not very much. She's on the
right.
Thinner,
you probably weigh less than my
side.
armor, so
probably. Actually, I think that's kind of fair.
So we're making
125 pounds.
There you go. Yeah, that's less. I think.
I'm 5'7" and 125 pounds. Yeah, so I'm just like clinging onto your back, and I'm like trying not to shout in your ear, but I also want Artanis to hear me too.
It's shout away. It's important.
You don't need to shout. It's me.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he'll hear you.
I could not say anything, and you would still hear me.
Right. You get your point across.
But it seems like we've got that remaining cultist to interrogate. That's one lead. We have the effects that were confiscated upon our arrest. That can be another lead, and we can talk to Acacia. So, I think the effects that were confiscated are probably near the stable. So perhaps Vera can handle that portion of the investigation and possibly meet up with us.
Whoa, what do you want me to do?
Look through the things that we got from the mill.
Ah, yeah. Well, we did have that sign of the 7, but didn't we find that directly on his person?
On the justice?
Yeah. Didn't we find that piece, that sign of the 7 sons, or the 7 shitheads, whatever
the brothers of the 7? Yeah. That sounds familiar. I would have mentioned it during the testimony had I remembered, but that sounds familiar. I mean, that would be on our list of, hey, we're saying he's
we're
connected.
turning that shit in. I mean, unless
Yeah.
somebody's already rifled it, we got to see how much these assholes left us.
Right.
Well, our stuff is at the jailhouse. It's not somewhere random. Like, they did take our stuff.
Yeah, but
when
I'm
we
not
got
really
there.
talking about thieves or anything like that. Well, I am talking about thieves, but I'm not talking about illegal thieves. I'm talking about those fucking guards. But
That's a
anyway,
great question. That's a great question,
We'll
though,
see.
Artanis. How trustworthy are the guards in this town?
well, we'll see how trustworthy they are. We're on our way.
I mean, I'll make a check. How trustworthy are the overall body
I
of
think
the
we
law
murdered one of
city?
their fucking judges.
enforcement?
So,
But like, if it's like a 10% corruption rate, 35% corruption rate,
fair. Exact rates.
I don't know.
Fair. If you can make a roll, do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take.
We
what I
love
can
to
get.
roll dice. We love it so much.
I can take a knowledge local.
I'll take a knowledge local. Okay, here we go. That's not bad.
Not way above average.
Okay. You know that corruption very much does exist within the justice system and the law enforcement system. It's not likely that every single person that you're going to come across, it's not even likely that most you will come across will perpetuate a lack of understanding of the law or a lack of respect for the law.
Okay.
It is there,
So probably a
but
safe-
it's about as common as finding standard crime going on.
Okay. So I think a safe answer to Ver's query would be, it is more likely than not that the person we're speaking to isn't corrupt, but corruption does exist.
And will the corrupt ones get their grubby little fingers on our stuff?
Right.
We'll
Well,
see.
if that's the case, run faster. You hear over your shoulder.
He fully does. If he had the run feat, he'd do it. He also has endurance, so he's got pluses to those checks.
Shit, if you're just like outpacing Artanis might just get dragged. Ver's
I
just
bet I could carry both of you guys.
probably, man. He's not that heavy. He's only 150.
Come here, Artanis.
Yeah,
Right,
shit.
Right, sweep him up and probably
I'm-
confuse the hell out of the people following us.
I'm on his back. You're getting carried bridal style, and Bear's just sprinting through the city.
Right,
this is
I got Artanis bride style, just bringing him over the
Exactly.
threshold of the jail.
exactly. Oh, it's just
Getting followed by a
Such a
few of
bromance.
there were a couple guards and a couple court squires assigned to watch you over the course of this next day, who are trying to keep up.
Good luck, guys. Good luck, fellas.
I think Cece would actually make a point to over her shoulder as the guys are getting further away, shout at them and let them know exactly where the three of them had decided to go. She doesn't want to do anything that would possibly get them in trouble, so just a straight we're going to location.
Such and such.
Yeah, we're going to such and such. Just maybe they know a shortcut, but
Right.
trying to be as frank with them as possible about where they're going.
Right. Okay. A few of them are they kind of split. Some of them are still following you, and the others are. Where are you heading right now?
We're going towards the Arvinsaur.
Yeah,
Right.
that place.
Would that be what you say, CC?
Yeah, she would shout at them that they're going straight to the Arvinsaur.
Okay.
And probably shout that they're going the only direction that they know how to get there. Like, that's just being frank with them, because if it looks like they're going in a weird direction, it's because Vera's just backpedaling in the footsteps that he knows how to get there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Awesome. So maybe I can get the horse so that the horse can do this for us. But for now, I'm happy to, since I don't have my armor on.
That's true. Oh man, we're probably like sad excuses for training armor.
I feel like I'm in prison. Like, what color are the prison jumpsuits? Or do they just... Or am I wearing what was under my armor?
It would have been just what's under your armor.
I haven't gotten the light armor just yet. But no,
No.
it's just like
you're not streaking through Magmar,
No.
are you?
Yep. I was going commando, y'all. No, just kidding. I probably just a jerkin designed to be worn under armor, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing crazy.
Okay.
I was hoping I'd get a prison jumper though, but that's fine.
Within only a few minutes, you make it to the Arvinsaur. And are greeted by some guards outside, some officers outside who kind of like hold their hands up to you as there's
officers.
A charging group of people, and then a couple more guards.
Well, the charging stops when I
Yeah.
when I come into sight, and then I
Gotcha.
put them down and say, "Hail, officers!"
Right. To which the your legal companions also arrive.
We all arrive. Sweet.
What seems to be the rush?
We've got 24 hours to prove our innocence. We need our stuff.
Well put.
The other one just kind of smirks and chuckles. Good luck with that. And like gestures to the first officer who directs you, leads you in towards where you can get your things.
I'm donning the armor right as I pick it up. Like, it's going on. CC, you want to help me out a little bit here? Artanis?
Yeah.
Right.
As we're helping...
We've first got to talk to the people, though, I'm sure.
Yeah, as we're helping bear into the armor, CC would look towards probably the multitude of people that has followed them into the storage area so they could get their stuff and say, within the cart that we had arrived with yesterday, there was an unconscious person that we had intentions on talking to. Where is that individual, and can we have time to talk to him?
Yeah, they would have had him also in a holding cell. It would have been a little bit more urgent to discuss things with you. I guess I can get him.
So I am able to be putting on my armor right now.
Yeah.
Cool.
Perfect. Yes, if you could get him and put him into a room as soon as we get all of our belongings, we would like to chat with him.
Sure.
I whistle as I put on my armor.
And after that time, the guard comes back in, says, "You have a room. It's E27 on the level below. Don't expect to be treated like the other officers here."
Oh yeah, we figured that would be the case.
Yeah, we understand. We understand that entirely. We do need to have a word with the captain whenever they're free.
The Acacia?
Captain Acacia, yes.
I might pass on the memo.
We would be ever so grateful if you would.
Yes, if you could graciously pass that on, we would be very much indebted to you.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
You want to?
He exits. he exits. I mean, you can do that. But he exits the room and lets you do your thing, while the other guards and scribes are still there as well.
How's that
Okay.
grab you?
Okay.
Oh wait, weren't you supposed to roll for me on that?
Oh, yeah. That's okay.
I forgot about that.
We'll figure it out eventually.
For sure.
I guess while we're here, so it looks like we have 2 people following us.
You've got 2 guards and 2 different justices' assistants.
2 guards and 2 justice assistants.
Just dies.
Okay. I guess I turn around at this point and ask them. I feel like I should probably know your names if you're gonna follow us around. I mean, I could also name you Uno and Dos.
The sorry, messaging outside the game. The guard himself says, "Well, I'm Officer Barry, and this is my partner, Officer Griffin." No. Absolutely not.
Cat?
And then the younger the younger of the assistants says, I'm Aiden, and the older of the assistants says, I'm a Jasmine.
Y'all ever heard about the Brothers of the Seven? Or the... I never can remember that. Anybody ever heard of them?
They kind of look around, and seems like it's kind of a no.
Yeah. Well, stick around. You might learn something about them.
Sure.
This will be great training for your... This will be great experience for your trade that you've picked up.
Right. So you finally don all your armor. Also, not unheard of, but blind girl intimately helping put on full plate.
Doing our best.
I mean, it could have been Artanis.
Yeah, I would be there too.
I know.
That's why I said both of them.
Yeah.
She's blind. She likes to think she can help.
I'm not helping? I thought I was. You told me I was.
I'm trying not to blow your cover.
I thought I was being helpful. And you could just tell
You were, princess. You were.
Yay!
All right. Since we're donning Ver's armor, I take it the rest
Actually,
of our
it's more
equipment is also there.
Have donned.
Yeah.
What
I
is
think
also
it's-
there?
The rest of our equipment, or are the
Yeah.
Okay. And now the effects that were with us that we took from the mill, are those kept in a separate location, like evidence or something?
Yes, they would be. If asked, they might let you get at it, but they were not freely given back to you.
All right. I turn to Aiden and Jasmine and tell him I'm gonna write down a list of the effects that we took from the mill. Could you retrieve them from evidence? Only one of you needs to go, but it's not very much.
I suppose.
All right. Aiden, I choose you.
We've got some interns now.
Yeah, we do. It's kind of great.
Basically. Like, what do you need to examine?
There's a likelihood that Justice Ironbriar's activities and conspirators are mentioned in the journal.
Okay. We can get that.
All right.
And the thing, the symbol of the seven.
Yeah, I'll
Alright.
write that down on the list as well.
Don't forget that shit again. That shit's important.
Okay, so did the three of us want to head up to the guy that we were gonna interrogate, or should I go with Aiden to evidence?
I think our first priority should be talking to Acacia.
Oh, okay,
think-
that makes
I think
sense.
we should talk to her because we want to talk to the big our contact that knows
Yeah.
we're not fucking mass murderers.
Right.
She'll be on our side.
I mean, that's the hope, right?
Yeah,
But
well,
I guess the question still stands: do we want to let Aiden retrieve the evidence? I'm not sure if Aiden's a guy or a girl, but I'm just gonna say they.
very fair.
Yeah, I don't want to jump to conclusions here, but do one of us
Right.
want to go with them?
I don't think it's unreasonable for us to assume that they're going to get everything on the list, and we will know if they don't bring us everything. And we could say go back and check, and if they don't show up with everything, then one of us can go. But for right now, we need to talk to... I feel like we need to talk to this guy, even if it's just Artanis and I go and Ver, you go track down the captain. I think that's very necessary because I need to cast that truth-telling spell, and then Artanis can ask the questions while I maintain concentration on the spell.
I see. My only concern is there are going to be more than just the people here who are privy to what's going on. If we lose one of our assistants during the course of this 24-hour investigation, that is not going to help our case.
Right. Well, they're gonna stick with us then. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go talk to Acacia, if we can. I can bring the people with me to go and talk to Acacia if you guys need to go right now to talk to this guy.
I'm just worried of us losing this window of time before he gets taken to court or
Okay, go.
whatever direction
We're-
that they take him.
We'll split up. I'll take the interns. You guys go to the interrogation. After I'm done talking with Acacia, I'll go to the evidence room
Sounds
with
like a
both
plan.
of them.
Sounds like a plan.
Follow me, he says, and takes off to where he remembers. Well, he grabs his sword first, sheathes it on his back, but grabs it and goes. Do you guys know where Acacia would be? I asked the interns.
Sorry, repeat that.
Do you know where Acacia would be? Is what I asked the interns.
Yeah. No, we aren't in here all too often.
Okay, so I'll just find another guard-ish person.
Yeah.
I am assuming they're thick as thieves around here.
Right. Roll me a diplomacy just to see how long it takes.
Oh boy, here we go.
You got a +2.
Yeah, it's not terrible. Not the best, but yeah. See, I'm just below average. So should I roll a D4 or something?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
I imagine. I know why. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm me, so things are difficult a little bit sometimes.
Some people don't really interact with you.
Mm-hmm.
Others give you limited direction. And basically, you kind of have to find it yourself based on that. No one really gives you clear-cut answers. Because
They want me to fail. That's why.
pretty much, and also, why the hell do you need to see our captain? Like that this is a weird thing.
Man, I'm
Yeah.
gonna. Well, we'll see what Acacia has to say.
It takes an annoying amount of time, but eventually you do make it to you make it to Acacia's office.
You have no idea how long I've been trying to find you.
Is that so?
Yeah. It's almost like I was put in jail or something.
We do that.
Yeah. Well, we were following up on that lead, and everything went bad. Karzarath died.
I am very sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's he was a great guy.
Managed to get a justice killed in the process, I hear.
Yeah, he was dealing dirty.
Was he now?
Yeah, he sure was. He see what happened. Remember when you said for us to go check out the 7 sawmill?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we went and checked it out, all right. That place is dirty as the day is long. And he was there. We found evidence that he's dirty as shit. He's in with the 7, or was.
Okay.
So our asses are on the fucking line. So I'm not saying you can just get us out of jail free here, but we would appreciate any help you can give us. However little that may be.
Well, I'm not going to get personally involved because that
I don't blame you. I'm not asking
would
for you
cause
to
some
get
issues.
I know. But you know we're innocent. I know, you don't have to say it one way or another. But you know. I was thinking of turning in an application after this is all over.
She just kind of wide eyes you.
Oh yeah. Somebody
I can
said
see how
I'd do
that
good at
works.
it, and I want to give it a shot. But I gotta clear my name first.
Yes, you do. I'll try to
But-
keep my boys off of you as much
That
as I
would-
can.
That would be appreciated. All right. Well, you hear anything and you happen to say something to Messenger, nobody will be the wiser. Have a good day. And he turns to leave.
Okay. The rest of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
What are you up to?
We are on our way to the cell that the guards told us the guy that we had captured is in.
Okay. So you make it to a room with a closed door, and there's the disgruntled guard waiting outside, who lets you in. And sitting inside is an individual that really hasn't been taken care of.
Oh.
You don't say.
completely tied up. Probably beat a few ways. Definitely hasn't been given nourishment, though it has been less than 24 hours since capture. And you can see that there are these red robes, though his mask has been taken off, as well as his hood.
Awesome. As Cece walks in, she I'm assuming he's like sitting at a table, like interrogation style setup.
Sorta. It's less formal, but yeah.
So she will be the first one to walk in and kind of look at the person. Can I roll a sense motive to kind of gauge how he's feeling right now? Is he nervous? Is he just, exacerbated? Like, what's his feeling on being caught in jail?
I will give you that. Let me see what your sense motive is. Okay. You get a plus 11.
I do.
Okay.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That
of
is a lot.
numbers.
Okay. So really what you can get off of him is just like hatred, really. You're not really sure what direction, though you can make some educated guesses. Beyond that, it seems pretty monotone.
Okay. With that knowledge, Cece will walk inside and take the seat kind of across from the person who's probably still tied up with Vare's rope, I would assume.
Hey, I want my rope back.
Yeah. Yeah. Vare sent me to get his rope back. That's the only reason I'm here. No, so she would just kind of take the seat across from him and say, I have a couple questions that I am looking for answers. Would you be inclined to give them willingly?
He doesn't respond.
This entire thing can end a lot faster if you are willing to have a conversation with me.
He remains quiet.
I don't understand why you were there. It doesn't seem like it was just for work. Is there a reason that you would align yourself with such awful people?
I know you don't understand it. They're not awful. They know the truth. You don't.
Well, if I don't know the truth, that just means that I am available to be educated. What is this truth that you speak?
Make a diplomacy check.
Sure. 23.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So. Oh. There we go. Okay. He looks you in the eye and honestly he looks at you with such power that it just feels a little creepy. He doesn't really care whether or not you're blind. He is like staring into your soul. Not literally, he's not casting magic. And he says that there is beauty in death. The Grey Master knows who must die. And we simply carry out these orders. We see a better future.
The Grey Master, you say? How does one become part of your group? What is initiation?
I don't think that you would like it, Missy.
I've done more things than you are aware of. So to judge me based on what you think I can and can't do is a fool's choice.
If you don't follow his plan, then you have not received word from him. There is no admittance. There is no initiation. You have your work set out before you. And you do.
How does one get assigned a job?
That's not up to me.
You received your orders in some way. How did you get them?
Divine messaging.
Through a mental connection.
Through a spiritual connection.
Well, you just spoke a language that I know more of than you had originally thought. So tell me, because I speak in a spiritual connection to many, who speaks to you?
Mm. You don't strike me as someone he would like to talk to.
Ah, but I talk to many. And you're telling me there's one that would not want to speak to me?
I'm sure there are plenty.
But why wouldn't this one? What do I not have that you have?
You don't have the drive.
A drive to do what?
Carry out the Grey Master's orders.
So they look for those who follow orders?
Not just any orders.
The Grey Master's orders.
You don't understand. And I doubt you will. But I can try to get through.
And how would one do that?
We desire a better society. And the only way to do that is to change the course of future events through death.
To prevent interference of your plans?
Death is our method of delivery. Death is our tool. If someone is to die, then it must be that their future would have ruined society.
And those chosen for death are the ones breaking the virtues?
No.
Are they representation of said virtues?
I don't quite understand what you mean.
When was the last time you received a message?
Get me to rat on myself. No thanks.
Hmm. Well, I wanted to learn more, but it doesn't sound like you're willing to share. Is that right?
It's not really my news to share.
But it is. That's the thing. Well, I try to be as diplomatic as I can. And Cece will get to her feet, walk over, and place a hand on his shoulder, and I'm gonna need him to make me a save for Touch of Truth Telling, DC 15.
Okay.
Come on. Can't roll. He can't roll.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a good spell.
And for my own knowledge, actually, it probably should be in the compendium.
It's essentially a single target zone of truth.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of breath holding to this tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure any of us were like expecting for things to play out the way they did. I mean, we were hoping it was a possibility, but 24 hours is still like, oh.
Yeah,
Let's get moving.
yeah, and that Acacia just didn't throw me out of her office is a good sign too.
That is a good sign.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cece. You see an illusory inevitable flash over the person of this cultist before fading away. And the cultist just gives you a smile.
That is not a word that I can say.
Inevitable?
Yeah.
Would Cece know what that is? Because Mackenzie does not.
Perhaps not. I would have you make some kind of knowledge check to understand. To know exactly what it is.
Religion?
No, it would have to be knowledge planes.
Oh, right. Archons.
I have that, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a rank in it, and I have the check mark as well. 16.
Okay. Yeah, you are aware of inevitables. They are construct-like. They are from outer planes, and they are basically axioms of pure universal planar law. They are extremely based on seeking out and destroying agents of chaos.
Oh. Interesting. Okay. Can I tell if my spell took hold?
Yes. This flash of lawful being, illusory lawful being, is its effect taking place.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, got it. With that, I will turn my attention to Artanis, give him a little nod, and say, you have 7 minutes worth of truth interrogation. And I will step back and let Artanis question next. Wait, we're level 7, right?
Yes.
Okay. It lasts for 7 minutes. Okay, cool.
I'm still level 6, but anyways, I'm gonna walk forward and tell the guy, my compatriot is a lot friendlier than I intend to be with you. And I can see that some of the guards here are about the level of friendly that I intend to be. Who is this Great Master? Do you know who they are?
Of course, I know who they are.
Tell me.
They are the mastermind behind every move. They are the knowledge of a brighter future.
Artanis is going to turn to the other officers, and I'm going to ask them, could one of you tell me who was responsible for taking care of our guest here prior to our arrival?
One of them just kind of says, "Oh, that was Jimmy."
Would any of you three be as willing as Jimmy to give our guest here the same kind of hospitality that Jimmy offered?
Oh no, not me. I'm not really into that kind of thing. But these other two, they might have at it.
Was
just
that
be
the one
back
that was
here.
already here?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna tell him, thank you for your honesty. Officer Barry, Officer Griffin, who would like to enact Article 2 of the anti-cultist law? Any means necessary to retrieve information that may save the lives of Magnamarian citizens.
Magnamarian anthem plays in the background.
The two of them step forward. And help interrogate for a while.
All right, so I'll tell them to like grasp the guy's hands, and I'm gonna tell him, all right, so here's what we're gonna do. Every time you try to dodge telling me the answer that I want, these two are gonna play a quick 3-second game of rock, paper, scissors to see who gets to break a finger. So, tell me the name, the birth name specifically, if you do know it, of the Grey Master.
That sure would be an interesting one to know.
Can I tell if he's lying?
Wait, can't be.
By way
Oh.
of magic, he cannot be deliberately lying.
Okay, so so with that information, he actually doesn't know their name. I'm just trying to figure out if that was phrased in such a way as to, like, find the loophole. It's like,
That's up to your discretion.
okay.
But he isn't lying.
Okay. Well, if you don't know who the Grey Master is, tell me when the last time was that the Grey Master contacted you.
You want it so bad. 2 weeks ago.
Oh, you almost got Officer Griffin to break a pinky. 2 weeks ago he reached you. Where did he reach you?
He doesn't reach anyone physically.
Oh, I don't mean the method. I believe my companion figured out that such messaging was done through spiritual means. I meant, where were you when you were reached?
I was lounging after a good day of work.
I see. Were you lounging with others of your kind?
A few.
Tell me where this place is.
It's down the sea cleft.
On the sea cleft. I'm gonna turn to the polite officer and tell him to bring us a map of the sea cleft.
Okay, well, I would give it to you.
Oh.
The sea cleft is the physical division between the precipitous summit and the rest of Magnamar.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just wanting the guy to be able to physically indicate where exactly on the sea cleft it is.
Okay.
Yeah. It's by the treble cleft. But yeah, assuming he marks it on the provided map, I'll just jot that down in my notes. Marked on map. What? If only you had a second call so you could pull a Joel. Oh yeah, that's true. What information would we need to access this location?
He doesn't want to answer. He's gonna
I
get
know
a
he
broken
doesn't.
finger.
How does he answer to this? Huh? Oh, the inactivity. I see. That
Ah.
explains it.
Yes, mystery solved.
Haha. The place itself is not criminal. All you would need to know is its location.
Very well. What are the details of Justice Ironbrier's involvement with the Brothers of Seven? He's dead now, if that plays into your willingness to answer. I killed him.
One second. I'll find an exact wording in here.
Oh. There's an excerpt, guys.
Yay, we're
something.
doing good stuff that's in the book.
Look at us playing the game in the book. Awesome.
Wow. Boy howdy.
Finding the path.
We are hot on the trail of the
pathfinding.
path. We are hot on that motherfucker's trail. Yeah. I'm really happy the way this session went. Is going, rather. Still time for it to go wrong. But I'm enjoying it. It's how I had hoped that things might go.
There's an interesting ritual with which we partake in. Normally there is no need for any ceremony. Our work is enough for the Grey Master. But sometimes justice will have individuals collected. We gather for his specific sacrifices.
I see. And these specific sacrifices were indicated to you via the justice. Names or addresses.
If these are the callings that the justice receives, then yes, we are given the information necessary. As you can imagine, a justice could not be out killing people.
I kind of flash Officer Barry and Officer Griffin like a look. It's like, see, I'm not a bad guy. But I continue. Are there any outstanding orders that members of the cult were given prior to yesterday?
We are efficient, he says with a smile.
You look a little too happy. Officer Barry, Officer Griffin, play rock, paper, scissors. I'm gonna roll for them.
They just look at each other, and then
Officer Barry wins that one.
yeah, Griffin just kind of like points to Barry. No rock paper scissors involved.
Oh, okay.
And snappy snappy goes the fingy.
Does this guy like actually wince from the pain, or is he like a freak?
He has the human experience of feeling pain. But he understands his position much differently than any other person would in this world. So
Okay.
he's kind of a freak.
Okay. It's
You don't
what
say.
What is it called?
That
Like
surprises me
fanatical.
so much.
Pretty much.
Fanatical fortitude. Okay. Looks like we're gonna play some sticks and stones here. What other justices are you aware of that have been contacted by the Grey Master?
We haven't been informed of any other justices. Something tells me they wouldn't be very efficient, very useful, or very accepting.
What other places do members of the cult gather that you can identify on this map?
We don't.
Well, could you elaborate?
You have found us in our place of work. There is nowhere else that we gather.
And all of the individuals that we found yesterday, surely there is more of you. Or is that all?
Perhaps a few of us were off on missions.
Give me a rough estimate. Or if you know the exact number, give me the exact number.
a great thing about the Grey Master is that we don't have to discuss these things with each other. If anyone is out on a mission at present, it is of no concern to the rest of us. I don't know.
Interesting. This Grey Master, do you have no further details regarding them? What their communication sounds like? Their possible age? What else do you know about the Grey Master? We just know that the Grey Master is the mastermind right now, according to what you've said.
The Grey Master speaks through intuition. We are driven by him, not just instructed.
But instruction is included.
We understand the instruction.
So would you describe it as some sort of received instinct to act upon something?
That would be a reasonable association.
What do you know of the couriers above the mill? The birds. Do you know who they're sent to?
No.
Well,
Ironbriar sends out his messages. That is all.
Ironbriar sends out his messages. And you are not privy to any of that information.
He shakes his head.
Well, how long have you been involved with these cultists?
I couldn't put a time to it, but years.
Very well. Give me details regarding the last mission you were sent on.
No.
I nod towards the officers.
And again, after a swift message, plus a little bit, the man before you is stricken with pain and comes out of it a little okay. You can see a kind of, I guess, desire in his eyes, mixed in with the pain.
May I make a sense motive to see what kind of desire this is? Like desire to react to us, desire to strike back, etc., etc.?
Sure. What is your modifier?
Well, the total is 15.
15 modifier?
Yeah. Like if I hit sense
Okay.
motive, it's gonna
Yeah.
do a d20 plus 15.
Okay. So that.
Oh, I like this better. This makes sense having you roll it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool little thing.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good move.
Okay. Okay. You're not entirely positive. However, you take him on his word that death is meaningful.
Okay. Death is meaningful. I look at him. Do you actually wish to die right now?
That is how the future is supposed to unfold.
Hmm,
And I would be part of something greater.
strange. I guess logically speaking, my dear cultist, if you were to die now, doesn't that mean that you assisted us in hampering the Grey Master's mission? Haven't you just sullied your entire purpose in life? Why would you want to die now when you can still redeem yourself somehow? Say, maybe some great plague strikes the town and you escape. Would you still want to die right now? Your death would be meaningless. By your standards.
The exact details of my death are not a necessity. Just that my interactions in the future must not be beneficial.
And that doesn't make you feel abandoned?
I feel closer than ever.
Sir Cultist, you're about as close to the Grey Master as a discarded piece of gum wrapper is to the police officer chewing it.
One of the guards says, "What's gum?"
I was just gonna make the exact same joke.
I think gum has been around for a while, like gum Arabic. I'm sure it's been around.
Fair, it just was a joke.
Yeah.
Make.
Yeah, it's like Officer Griffin is clearly chewing juicy fruit, don't you see? Okay, but yeah. I want to see how crazy this guy's resolve is.
And in response, he just says, "You do not shake my faith. You are wrong."
Oh. How about you tell me a question that you've always wanted answered by the Grey Master. The Grey Master sees a better future. Clearly, the future must hold some mystery. What do you want to know?
I have no reason to ask you.
Well, no reason to ask me, but you don't have any compulsions? You wanted to better the society, but you don't even know what the society is.
That is where faith comes from.
I understand faith. Our oracle displays faith. You have been coerced, brainwashed. You don't know what purpose you serve. What's the difference between you and a ghoul? Answer me that question.
There need not be a difference, but one is not as good at following and following up on orders. I doubt that the school sees into the future. I doubt that the ghoul has prospects.
And I suppose the same could be said of any of the members of the cult, no?
I told you you wouldn't understand.
Yes, but there has to be a reason why you're choosing to follow this cult.
I've already told you.
Alright. Answer me this last question. And maybe I won't show you what exactly Justice Ironbriar went through. If we bring you with us on a short leash, would you be able to lead us to more of your kind? Any hints, any directions? Clearly, after work is done, everyone disperses in different directions, so you must have a general idea of where some people are.
I could.
Will you?
Who is there left to follow? You slaughtered everyone else.
The Grey Master.
Do you want me to take you to the Grey Master?
If the Grey Master is as all-knowing as you believe, what's to stop them from converting all of us in this room to following the same course of action? Do you believe they're capable?
Yes. I believe that they may be capable.
That's wonderful news. So would you be willing to be our guide then?
There is no guide I can give you into the divine.
So the Grey Master just selects random people to enlighten.
Perhaps random to you and me.
That's a fair enough statement. All right. And Artanis stands up. Give me a reason why you should remain alive. Past proper procedure, of course.
He just looks at you with wide eyes. No.
Oh, so you want to die. Do you doubt that you're going to be reached again?
If I do not die, and I am given further tasks, I will complete them. It's as simple as that.
I know. I'm just asking you if you think you're going to be reached.
And I'm telling you that that's not up to me.
So then why would you seek to die now? Because that is up to you. You see the catch-22 you're in, Sir Cultist.
That's funny. Sir Cultist.
And it actually is funny too. You can't lie.
Oh. Are you going to choose to live, or are you going to choose to die? One path, you're actively denying any further communication with the Grey Mastermind you know as the Grey Master. The other, you are accepting the fact that you are still able to fulfill orders from the Grey Master. So, what reason do we have to keep you alive?
He just smiles and doesn't say a single word.
I'm gonna take out my saw, the scrap piranha, and I'm gonna ask Officer Barry and Officer Griffin. You now know a greater portion of the story, officers. If we let him live, there exists the possibility that by some strange twist of fate, he's released back into the city. I wish to prevent any further possible deaths by his hands. Are either of you opposed to me making preventative measures?
The well, yeah. The guard takes a big sigh and steps out of the room.
Was that both of them?
Yeah, the officers step out.
All right, so I'm gonna make it's gonna be a rough incision. I don't think. Oh yeah, my heel is one of the only things that I'm not knowledgeable in. But I'm basically gonna try to make a cut across the top of this guy's wrist to sever the nerve cord to his fingers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll try to do that. Bar a dice roll, I will step out of the room and ask either Cece or somebody to provide a medic to like wrap it up, but not to restore functionality.
Okay.
Is Ver outside the door by this point?
I don't know. Am I?
Sorry I ate up so much time, guys.
No worries. You got something.
Yeah.
It was necessary.
And those guards know that we're innocent too.
Okay. By the end of that, he is unconscious.
That's fair. So I look at the two guards and ask them, since they're more familiar with the Arvin Sword, what details do you have on this marked structure? Do you know what we can find out about it?
What do you mean marked structure?
Oh, the guy marked like a building where cultists gather. So it's somewhere along the sea cleft, but I'm not sure exactly where. So I'm just, kind of assuming that there's some sort of documentation regarding the building, like maybe public files or like town hall stuff, anything.
Not that I'm aware of. I don't know if I've ever been there.
Okay.
So could we say that I have already been to the actually yeah. Okay. Yeah. If I've already been there and I'm coming back now. Is that cool?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Did you find out anything from him?
Yeah, we got a confession as to Justice Ironbrier's involvement regarding the Seven. So that's fairly concrete now. We could.
Did the guards themselves hear all the confessions that we got out of this guy?
I look at the guards.
Gentlemen?
Yeah, we heard them.
Okay. You can testify to that effect. Alright. So what's next?
I guess.
Well, Aiden makes it back.
Oh yeah.
Carrying as specified, a thin notebook and a medallion, unless there were other things that you were asking for.
I believe that was it, right?
I mean, those were the two things that
There was
I think I was made aware of.
You can talk now, Cece.
The bag of holding would have been something that
Oh
they
yeah,
had confiscated as well.
I said that all my stuff was here, and I guess I assumed that I grabbed the BOH. That's correct, right?
Yeah, I would assume that.
Okay. Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
I wasn't
it
sure
was
if
there.
that got separated from one to the other.
All right. I think Artanis would bring the group to like a meeting room to review the materials.
All right. Well,
Your
over
two
the dead
guards
cultists.
and 2 assistants come with you, and you
Um,
find a room.
Can I roll a... So, the cultist kept talking about the Grey Master and saying that he's using some form of divine communication with them.
Mhm.
Can I roll a religion check to see if I know if any gods are referred to as the
Good
Grey
call.
Master?
Good.
You can certainly try.
25.
Yoda says there is no try.
Yoda's a liar. There's absolutely try.
You're absolutely right. I can't
I
really
did-
defend my position there.
I did try, and I tried to a 25.
A 20 drive.
20 drive.
So, based off what we've heard and the fact that we have multiple witnesses to the confession, would I have a good sense, law-wise, if this would be sufficient evidence to link Ironbriar to the cult? It seems pretty damning, but I don't know if it's sufficient for the justice system here.
I guess it's a bit of a difficult call because of your reputation.
Oh, okay.
CC, you are aware very vaguely that the Grey Master is, in fact, a deity of some kind.
Didn't we hear them say a god's name at one point when we were fighting them? I
Perhaps.
swear we did. I think it was Lamashtu. I think I heard.
Anyway,
Maybe I didn't.
I'm really not sure. Anyway, see, with your 25, you do recall hearing about the Grey Master, but what you know is what you have heard is secondhand and third-hand knowledge that this is a god shrouded in mystery and secrets.
Okay, so the fact that his cultists in their own right would be as vague is on par with the way that this god traditionally functions, or at least my knowledge of the god's functionality.
Correct.
Okay.
That sounds reasonable.
Okay. Well, what he was referencing is actually a god. And the god that he's referencing does speak rather cryptically, so the amount of knowledge that that man has isn't uncommon for the style of deity that he's claiming he's following, but normally there's, at least with me, there's a conduit that's sharing the message, so I don't know. This feels off. This has to be human involvement in some way, shape, or form to have it expand this far, but the style of involvement and who, I'm not really too sure about. This god is one that's traditionally shrouded in mystery, so the actions or lack thereof isn't necessarily something that would not occur when being involved with this deity.
Interesting. I don't know much about religion.
Well, hopefully if there's a god of truth and justice, the god of truth and justice can break the Grey Master's fingers so that we can get past all these riddles
Metaphoric
and secrets.
fingers. Or literal. That would be good too.
But as we're kind of heading our way to the meeting room, I do fill in Aiden. I'm not sure if Jasmine was in the interrogation room, but if the assistants were not present, I would fill them in on what has transpired with the guards in tow.
Okay. You would fill in Aiden.
Okay.
Jasmine would be aware.
Okay. As we're just setting all the stuff out, I guess I'm gonna ask the four that are following us. How do the four of you feel about this investigation? Barely been an hour since we've left the courtroom. What do you see?
I don't want to be involved. I'm just trying to make sure things aren't hidden from us.
Oh no,
In
we're
the-
all
in
out in
the-
the open. Don't worry, don't you worry about that.
I take it this is a Aiden, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I understand that, Aiden. But I do see value in you and Jasmine being here. You're assistant to the justices, and as such, I believe you would be a good estimate as to what they believe would be correct in this situation. So I ask humbly regarding our innocence and our
Suppose.
our investigation. Do you think things are looking better than they are worse?
Especially with this. Bear holds up the medallion we found on him.
Right.
I mean, I guess I'm personally feeling a little bit more comfortable around you three.
Yeah, don't worry. We won't let anything happen to you. You're under my protection. He smiles. Terrible, terrible smile.
He's scary, but he speaks the truth. And I do want to thank you, Officer Berry and Officer Griffin, for your cooperation. We don't know where this investigation is going to take us, but it's possible that we may run into additional combat or dangerous situations. If that is the case, assistants, use your best judgment to stay alive. Don't run out into the open and get yourself killed. Is that understood?
We'll do what we need to do. We're not stupid.
Good. Let's sift over that journal.
So, you do pull open that journal again, and once again you are met with 3 different shaped sets of characters.
That's right. Yeah, it's like 3 different languages, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You are able to read, though it is still ciphered.
Okay.
You are able to read a third. So you understand a third of the characters, but they are still encrypted.
Got it. Okay. I'm gonna ask the others. I can only understand maybe a third of this text. Who else here can speak other languages? Here's my languages, by the way.
Let me just do a quick check. That would be in perhaps background. I got Common and Infernal. It's a short list.
I think you recognized some Infernal on it, and then I didn't recognize any of it.
Yeah, Vare is able to recognize some of it.
Cece would turn to probably the judge's escorts, and say, do either of you recognize any of these languages? And she would gesture for them to come look at the book.
They would look, and one of them, Jasmine, recognizes the elven characters, but otherwise, no.
Wonder if this thing's enchanted. Have we checked this book for magic?
I think you
No.
have.
I don't think we did.
Okay.
We didn't have it long enough, I think. But I will, if you'll allow me.
Yeah. Use your level 0 detect magic.
Yes.
Pew.
Love Pathfinder for that. Very kind of them.
You take about 18 seconds, or, well, I guess you take about 6 seconds. And within that cone, okay, 6 seconds, there is magic around, but you're aware that your party has magic. 12 seconds, you're able to feel the presence of multiple magic items, and then 18 seconds, you try to focus in on the book, and it is not one of the magical preferences.
Okay. No magic on the book. But did Briar have an assistant? Do either of you know?
No, he didn't. Not everyone has an assistant.
Just us, because they want to put us in the hells.
Alright. I have something I wish to try. We really need to understand the entirety of this journal if we are to have a chance to decode it.
Maybe like I don't know. What's your idea?
Artanis is gonna kind of focus, and he's gonna make a psychic memory roll so that
Okay.
he can cast comprehend languages.
Baller.
Yeah, that might help.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so blah 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 blah. Comprehend languages. Blah 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 blah. Open link.
So once you remember a spell, it's remembered forever. Is that how it goes?
Nope.
Oh, you have to do it again. Oh, okay. I
Yep.
see that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it definitely has its uses. I'll go ahead and read it out loud. You can understand the spoken words of creatures or read otherwise incomprehensible written messages. The ability to read does not necessarily impart insight into the material, merely its literal meaning. The spell enables you to understand or read an unknown language, not speak or write it. And written material can be read at the rate of 1 page per minute. That's actually really good. Magical writing cannot be read, though the spell reveals that it is magical, and the spell cannot be foiled by certain warding magic. Oh, the spell can be foiled by certain warding magic, but this one's not magical. It does not decipher codes or reveal messages concealed in otherwise normal text.
Oh, crap.
I mean, it gets us part of the way through. If we can figure out the code, at least that is now available to us.
All right. How's your intelligence score, bruh?
But I mean, it's 14. That's pretty
It's
good.
not bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what languages are in here? We've got Elven, Infernal, and the last one.
And another one that you simply read as probably common script as it is magically transcribed to you.
Got it. All right.
Hell yeah.
So I guess my goal now is to taking 20 is what, an hour?
I'm not positive.
Okay.
Isn't it
It's
just
like, as
minutes?
long
Don't
as-
you? Isn't it like taking 10 is like taking 10 minutes? I don't know if that's right.
That sounds plausible, but I'm not entirely confident.
Yeah, me neither.
But anyways, it's gonna require some sort of check, and I'm willing to try to kind of just brute force this cipher.
Right. What's your linguistics score?
It is currently plus 10.
Okay.
Taking 20 takes 20 times as long as making a single check would take, by the way.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. You're physically capable, you realize, of deciphering you are capable of deciphering the journal. Though you realize, even with your spell going, if you were to just transcribe everything into common during that time, once you have that, it would take you about a week.
Okay.
What you want to do with that is up to you.
Got it. So I'm gonna turn to the others and say with grave news, I believe I can decipher this, but I'm afraid I am not intelligent enough to crack the code within the 24 hours that we have.
And I sure as hell ain't.
I'm probably not the most efficient person either.
Well, unless we find an expert on ciphers, we'd best chase other leads.
Unfortunate. Too bad
The
we
good
don't.
news-
We only have these 24 hours. It's a
The good
shame.
news is we do have something to fall back on once we have proven our innocence. We've got this. Which could very easily be another lead that we need.
And it's
And
all
when-
evidence. And now we've got 2 testimonies from guards.
I am curious of the birds,
I am as well.
and I wonder if the possibility of setting out a ploy for the individuals that could be reached via those birds would be a good idea. I can mimic his handwriting.
Unfortunately, somebody already got away, right? Somebody, but maybe we don't know whether that. Didn't you say that, Artanis? One
I
person
was-
got away.
Yeah, that was from the house where Dedrin lost his life.
Yeah.
That shapeshifter that you were chasing down the streets.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the staff of the mill is concerned, we got all the ones that were present.
Huh. All right.
All right, so this ploy with the birds, I'm gonna make a guess. Do you wish to send the bird out and find out where it goes?
I think we've got two very valid options here. We can send out the bird, even just a single bird, see where it goes, and follow it from there. But I also do think attaching a legitimate note to it, requesting a meetup, would also be suffice. If we had them meet at the mill, maybe that wouldn't seem as conspicuous.
Well, I suspect that news of the mill incident has probably already spread throughout the underground of the city.
Well, it would need to be met in private ground, and I really doubt that after all the ruckus we've caused, they're going to allow us to use his home.
Well, that's true. But that's a good point. Perhaps we can search Justice Ironbrier's estate. That seems like as good a place as any to dig up additional damning evidence on him.
Yeah.
Aiden, could you retrieve Justice Ironbrier's home address?
I suppose I can try.
Excellent. Will you need to travel back to the pediment building for that information?
Probably.
Alright, well, I don't suppose we have any other further business here. Might as well make a trip back. Probably at a more leisurely pace. Thoughts?
I'm fine with returning, and I think it's a show of good faith, as we do want the information that we wouldn't just send him off to not continue doing his duties that has been assigned to him. And even just, one of us going with him may seem, I don't want to say unfair, but I do want to make it known that these people are doing their job.
Yeah. They're doing an
No.
excellent job, too.
Yeah, I'm aware they're doing their job. the process of receiving this information, I'm not distrusting Aiden or Jasmine from performing their jobs. It's just, if the information is there, it's just less distance to travel if we're already there.
Oh, no, it was by no means a distrust between us or anything of that nature. I want to make it known to the justices that these people are doing their job. So that just seems like the more efficient thing to do. That, and I'm pretty sure that the guy's probably waking up and not feeling his fingers, but he should be roused back awake. He doesn't get to meet his maker today.
All right. Well, perhaps we'll run into a justice or two on their way out of the pediment building. But we shall see. Is there any further business here in the Arvinsor that anyone can think of?
Just getting my horse.
Yes, let's get your horse.
Do we know if Karzarath's body's here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you would know, but it could be assumed that Karzarath's body would be in some kind of cold storage before some kind of autopsy takes place.
We should retrieve his personal effects. I mean, I got his lockpick, and I think that was really it that I took. Oh, and the bracelet that I had given him. But I do think it would be a good idea to retrieve all of his personal effects. If they'll give them to us.
Right.
Artanis looks kind of hesitant, but agrees.
We shouldn't. So are we planning to go to his house now?
The dude's house? Yeah. The plan is to get Justice Ironbrier's address and then go to his estate to look for more evidence.
All right. I'm gonna go get Hope saddled up.
Very well. We'll meet you. That is a long freaking way around, isn't it? Is there like an elevator that Ver can take, or must he take this long route outside?
Great cardio.
There's also this path.
Great cardio.
Which would,
Oh,
take you
probably looking at the wrong map.
from the Arvinsor all the way across to this place, and then all the way up and all the way over.
Oh.
It's
Okay.
not exactly convenient
No.
or nearby.
Good thing we got a horse.
Good thing we have a horse. But we do want the horse. Just in case we find more people.
Right.
I suppose we can... Wait a second. Huh? Oh yeah, we have the cart. The cart also had a horse, right?
Thought it had a couple.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it was like a singular donkey.
Oh, okay. We should give that donkey a name also.
That donkey deserves a damn prize.
It would have been named probably something simple that Dedrin would have known, so probably like Bullet.
I like
Nice.
bullet.
I'm down with that.
I mean, you gotta be. It was his donkey.
For sure. I mean, it's not like I'm saying I'm down with that, so I'll let it pass. I'm just saying it's cool.
All right. Um. Do you, traveling through the dockway and a good chunk of the low cleft is not ideal, I think, according to what I know. Shall we all travel together?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Get that out of the way, and then head up to the pediment building.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's our plan.
Okay. Well, you recollect hope and your hope and bullet and begin making your way through the streets of the low cleft and the dockway. Likely main streets.
Was I allowed to take the belongings off of Karzarath's body?
Yes, they would let you.
Okay, cool. And I would just store everything in the bag of holding to look through later.
Okay.
Probably as they collected those effects, Artanis would have just looked at I guess, the closet, whatever that drawer thing is for the bodies, unless Dedrin's still out, and kind of just pay his respects very quickly before moving on.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah, so
Did we find out about Karzarath's body?
Yes, that's what CC went to go get. They allowed us to get all his effects.
Ah.
So this is the approximate path that you take to get back up to the capital district.
Cool.
What a journey.
Yeah. And as you are making your way, you see across the plaza that there are a few individuals of noble stature walking out of the pediment building. And they make their separate ways. Which is...
Do we recognize any of these nobles?
not likely.
Okay.
But it does strike you as odd that there's a bunch of nobles coming out of the pediment building. That seems a little weird.
I turn to the others and say, it's strange that there's so many nobles exiting the pediment building. That is sort of weird.
How is that weird?
Are they trying to use their pull to get us the axe.
Well, and please correct me if I'm wrong, GM. That is a possibility. Some noble families certainly do dabble in darker affairs.
You should make note of those nobles that you've seen.
Is there a chance that with Justice Breyer's seat being vacant, that what we're seeing is possible nobles to take over the seat?
Seems reasonable.
Possible candidates could be. Is there anything distinguishing from these nobles, like family crests or anything of the such?
Sort of. I mean, yeah. Not all of them you recognize, and some of them really are just in fancy attire without crests.
Okay.
But you recognize a few minor noble families, or crests, I suppose, and a few major.
Okay. So I take it the important thing is that there were noble families coming out of the pediment building.
Yeah, there were nobles coming out.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering if that was a potential lead that we should follow. But it looks like the event's the important detail, right? Okay. I guess we'll continue forward and park the bullet train out front.
Okay. So after all these events, I'm going to say that because they definitely would have gotten you up at an inconvenient hour, it's about noon at this point. So it'd be early to mid-morning tomorrow at the end of your 24 hours. You park your bullet train and make your way past some of the nobles. Some are just standing around unsure of what they should do next, while others are heading back home or to a tavern or who knows. A couple of them look at you and one of them walks up, keeping a safe distance, to be clear, but sort of walks up and says, "Are you the ones making our lives difficult?"
That depends. What do you mean making your life difficult?
Well, I have next to nothing to do with Justice Ironbriar, but I was still called in and questioned. I was told that he might be of ill repute, as were the rest of us. We were also told that he was killed by your group, and that apparently it was your information that led to this suspicion. So why are you inconveniencing us?
You'll have to excuse me. I don't have any sympathy for those who believe that answering a few questions is as inconvenient as spending years in the hells. But if it leads to less corruption, I don't see how that can be interpreted as inconveniencing you unless it's interrupting your business.
You have no idea how valuable a noble's time is.
Well, actually.
We're
Well,
not
if-
even nobles. And our time is worth what, like 20,000 gold pieces?
Oh, Artanis actually is a noble.
Oh, I don't think you've told us that.
No, I don't think I've told you that.
And a shock from your collar.
I guess if I'm a disgraced noble, it doesn't count.
Scanner's time.
Well, if you would still be willing to spare any more time, are there any of these peers of yours that you believe may be a legitimate suspicion in these investigations?
You see him kind of sneer, like he lifts up his lip a little bit and scrunches his brows as he looks off at some of the other nobles walking off. All of them could be indicted in one form or in relation to this case, however. I'm unsure. I don't have many dealings with... I didn't have many dealings with Ironbriar.
I see.
Anybody gonna sense motive that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
for
still
sure.
hovering over the sense motive
Yep.
button.
Look,
Yep,
we're
I
all
was on my way there too.
all at
hey,
once. We all
buddy.
turn the side eye.
You ain't getting that roll, you're getting a new roll.
Oh,
Thank
yeah,
you for
that's
telling
right,
me
that's
what
right.
your modifier is.
Yeah, mine's a +1, yo.
Mine is a plus 15. I'll just put that in chat. Sorry.
Okay. Yes. And then the +1. Okay.
For
So
me, it's
fair,
easy.
just because I think it's funny, you have a +1, so you got an 8. But Artanis and CC. Ooh. CC and Artanis. Okay. Artanis and CC, both of you kind of get the impression that he this dude in front of you probably doesn't deal too often with or in the past, you can't really deal with him now, but with Justice Ironbriar, doesn't seem like there's any sort of farce within his voice. Ver, you feel suspicious of him, but you're not really sure whether that statement is true or false.
Yeah, so I'm waffling.
Pretty much.
I
You're debating
suspected
back and
as much.
forth, like, yeah, I can't trust. I can't trust.
He's rich. I hate rich people.
But he did seem really annoyed at all of this, so maybe he's not lying.
Eh.
So it's just kind of back and forth.
Right. You know, he could be a serial killer. He might not be. I don't know.
Well, in either case,
So many maybes.
Right?
in either case, your cooperation is helpful. May I get a name? This isn't a a notice that I'll contact you later, just merely that I wish to know your name.
Delightful, he says at the notion of non-contact, and just says, "My name is Alistair, if you'll excuse me, and I'll give you a knowledge local to recognize the crest that he wears on his like maroon coat, jacket,
Maroon coat jacket thing.
pretty much.
Pantsuit.
Okay.
It's not a pantsuit, but it looks fancy.
Knowledge local.
Lovely pantsuit.
Oh, that's a good roll.
Okay. Okay. You are aware that this is... He's from a minor nobility and also new money nobility. He's definitely not in like the Alabaster district, or probably not even the capital district. He probably has location in Naus, from what you can tell. He's a Beaumont. It is the Beaumont crest.
Like Castlevania? Oh.
I guess so.
No, it's not. It's Belmont.
It's not very
I misheard
canon,
you.
even if it is. There's no canon Castlevania in Galarian, so...
Ooh,
Dang it.
That
not
makes
yet.
sense.
Any rate. Yeah,
All
Beaumont.
right. Sounds good. And if he doesn't ask me my name, I'm not giving him any information regarding myself.
Oh, he doesn't care.
Yeah, I didn't
Right.
suspect you would.
Yeah.
That was a Beaumont, new money. He hasn't really advanced that far up. But it seems like he genuinely doesn't have much dealings with Justice Ironbriar. Well, after you, Aiden.
Right. And he'll go in with Officer Griffin, leading you in once again to the pediment building. There is a bit of a weight put on you as the council is busy once again. But after an hour or so, the floor opens up.
And
And-
after 22 hours.
Down to like 20, probably.
Oh,
The dawning of a new day.
time flies
24
when your
hours
life is
left.
on the line.
um,
At least there's not a big ass moon in the sky.
Oh God,
Yeah.
don't even start.
That was a good game.
that thing moves so slowly it wouldn't destroy anything. Anyway,
That's fair.
you are cordially welcomed into the main location, the council's room. Where they once again look disdainfully upon all of you. And
I just soak in the disdain.
You say you have new information. I pray for your sakes that it is useful.
Would you like me to go over the information, GM, or would you like me to just regurgitate it?
And did we bring those cops with us?
Yeah.
I
The
mean,
ones
yeah,
that
they've
witnessed
been
everything?
Dave's been. Well, I guess those two haven't been escorting you, but
They are now.
they would get the clearance to come with. Yeah.
I'll let Artanis handle the proceedings.
Thing is, it's not a trial. I would probably just speak casually.
Yeah, I would like you to explain what information you are going to give to them, because that does matter.
Yes, Game Master. We have attained a confession from the cultists we took prisoner. They admit that there was a connection between Justice Ironbriar and the Cult of the Seven. As far as motivations go, it seems they serve a mysterious deity that goes by the name of the Grey Master. From what we could tell, there are no other justices that are currently in suspicion, and if there are, the cultist was not aware of it. So if that was a concern that any of you had, please rest assured that there were no indications of such. The cult's goals, I know you were concerned with that question. Artanis says, gesturing towards the judge who had asked earlier. They seek to change history and society for the better by delivering death to people that they deem necessary to die. This medallion was found on Justice Ironbriar's person, and Justice Ironbriar was also responsible for
Sending messages.
Between, I suppose, higher officers within the cult. It seems like that's the closest description I have. But he would send messages from the Seven's Mill.
Mm-hmm.
It's also worth mentioning that we obtained this under truth spell, didn't we?
Yes. The individual was compelled to tell the truth. And the two officers that were assigned to come with us were in attendance. We intend to further the investigation by investigating Justice Ironbriar's residence, which we're hoping Aiden will retrieve the information for.
Oh, right. They wanted me to do that. I see.
So, whether or not this is sufficient evidence, we're going to continue our investigation. But that is a 4-hour update.
Also,
Under these circumstances, I consider your efforts meaningful but not fully absolvable.
Very well, Justice.
I am willing to extend your period so long as you remain within the confines of this city.
No problem with that, Your Honor.
You will have 1 week.
Oh, that is breathing room right there.
Ah.
Bring me
Oof,
actual
looks-
evidence. Something that cannot be forged
We'll
or
bring
wound
you
its way around the truth.
We'll bring you someone to talk to you. Or some other such thing like that.
Out of
If-
the chamber.
Okay.
Bye.
Pisces! Oh,
Thanks.
man.
We love you. Any rate, we walk out.
Love you too.
Time.
I love you too. I don't know. This brings up all new memory, all new feelings.
This is probably the first time that Artanis has left a courtroom in a very long time, actually grinning.
Wowzers. Okay.
Okay, we've got a little bit more time on our side, so that's nice. So we've
I
got.
consider that a huge victory.
Oh yeah, that's a huge win for us. So we've got
Artanis, would you mind making a wisdom check? Flat wisdom.
What wisdom? Got it.
Oof.
God damn it.
Oof.
Okay. Not unless it comes up.
Alright.
Okay, so we could follow the birds.
Yeah.
One or all three. So we could follow the birds. If we're gonna do that route, we need to do it sooner than later before the word of Justice Breyer's death gets out.
I have a hard time believing it's not already out, but let's hurry anyways. Let's see if we can speed run this. See how quickly we can clear our names.
Oh yeah, there's an exploit near the base of the Arvinsor where if you keep running against the wall, you'll just like accelerate towards the boss.
Right. And nobody forget their speedrun diapers.
Yeah, well, let's go. Live off of Mountain Dew. Be fine.
Doritos. Put it in
Mountain
the
Dew and
blender.
Doritos.
Anyway. So that's that. Is there anything we wanted to do? We've got a couple more minutes left in the session. Any threads we want to get started?
Not really.
Fair.
I think we've got a pretty good plan imminently that we're gonna check out the mill again, send out those decoys, and after that we're probably gonna check out the estate, right?
Yeah. I mean, we should go really quickly to the we should see what the upper floors hold in the mill. What the tippy top floors hold.
That's where we found the birds.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we fully scoured the mill.
Right, so we don't even have to go back there. Good, great.
Yeah, so I guess the question that Cece would pose to Artanis is, could Athena keep up with one of the birds?
Or like fly on its back or something.
Fly on its Sorry, I was reading something. What was the plan just now?
You could have what's her? I
Athena.
forget. Athena, like either fly with or just ride on the bird's back.
Yeah. I think I've got like 100-foot range.
Oof, that's not gonna work.
No. I think there's maybe like speak with animals or something like that. Do I have that? No, I don't have that. Damn it!
Well, you're not a. I mean, I think that's just a. Well, maybe in Pathfinder it's different. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, it's not on my spell list. I'll have to see what other tricks I can whip up here, but we're gonna have to figure something out. But I think that is that can be tackled next session.
Right, because we're getting
Yeah, we're
right
getting
there. But damn, what a session! Holy crap!
Yeah, that was like, oh.
Oh my god, what a session
In
indeed.
with-
That was so intense.
In with the anxiety, out with some semblance of, okay, we're not dying tomorrow.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've been in a situation where I've just felt my heart beat in my chest and my throat, and that's what this whole
Right.
session was for me. Was just all of
Right.
that
It was
from
just
beginning
like
to end. Oh
two
man.
different situations too. Like we were holding our breath during the trial. And then we were holding our breath right there at the end too. Just
You know, I
holding
was
our breath
feeling
this
really
whole
good.
damn thing.
I
I'm
was
sure
feeling
you were.
perfectly fine.
I bet.
I don't know what you guys are going through, but I'm over here just like, yo, I'm chilling.
I'm
For
kind of
sure.
just waiting for like an encounter on these streets of your character just coming up and being like, "Follow me if you want to live."
You look trustworthy.
Listen. Well, don't listen to anything because I'm not going to tell you anything.
Okay.
And that's the moment that none of us goes with Pai's character, because we're like, obviously this is a decoy that we're not going to follow by these.
Or we just PK him. No, just
Yeah.
kidding.
Just be like, oh, obvious enemy, and Pai rolls up his third character.
That's a villain.
It's this character, Junior.
Oh,
Right.
gosh. That would... I know you guys wouldn't ever do that because
Nope.
that's messed up, but
That would
God,
be dumb.
I would feel so... I build up such a cool backstory, and they join the party, and they get stabbed immediately by you because you're like, villain. I'd be like, alright, well, goodbye, guys.
Aw.
That's when Pai's like, yeah, I'm gonna be
Anyway.
the villain.
Bye, YouTube.
Yes,
Bye,
yes.
YouTube.
Great game as always.
We're
Everybody
free.
think about YouTube.
No chains on us. We're free.
We're
YouTube.
free. Bye,
And have a
YouTube.
good night too, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube. Happy dungeon delving, everyone. We had between 2 to 3 viewers the entire session, too.
Not presently doomed. I'll take not presently doomed. That's fine. I accept that. I accept that completely.